3 months after I married Ethan, his family began their campaign to label me as unstable. It started subtly at our weekly family dinners. His mother would drop hints about my mental state, noting how I seemed flustered by ordinary conversations or how I'd forgotten events from the previous week. Initially, I dismissed it as her being overly protective of her son. Then his sister, Lauren, joined in. "Poor Ethan," she'd say with an exaggerated sigh. "You're so patient with her outbursts." Outbursts. I was a high school teacher with a master's degree, managing classrooms of teenagers for 7 years without issue. I'd never had a mental health problem, yet their persistence was relentless. Ethan's father would give a pitying shake of his head whenever I corrected their version of events. "There she goes again," he'd mutter to Ethan. "Maybe it's time to get her some professional help." The worst part was seeing Ethan start to buy into their narrative. One night after a particularly grueling dinner, he took my hand and said, "Sweetheart, Mom thinks you might need to talk to a therapist." "About what?" I asked, baffled. "You've been off lately, suspicious, argumentative." "Even I've noticed." I stared at him, stunned. "Argumentative?" I corrected Lauren when she claimed I ruined the meal last week. She ordered pizza because she forgot to cook. "See," he said softly. "You're doing it again?" That's when I realized what was happening. For the next month, I became hypervigilant. Ethan's mother would invent conversations we'd never had. Lauren would rearrange items in their house, then act worried when I couldn't find them. His father would reference behaviors I'd supposedly exhibited that were complete fabrications. They were gaslighting me, methodically undermining my reality. The tipping point came when Ethan's mother suggested he pursue a psychiatric evaluation for me. She'd gathered articles on early-onset dementia and delusional disorders, underlining passages about the need for swift family intervention. I was 29 years old. That night, I drove to a tech store and bought a tiny audio recorder. If they were going to paint me as deranged, I'd ensure I had evidence of their scheme. For 2 weeks, I recorded every interaction with Ethan's family, dinners, drop-in visits, even phone calls they didn't know I could hear. I kept a meticulous log with timestamps, noting every lie, every manipulation, every attack on my sanity. The recorder was so discreet I could hide it anywhere. In my bag, tucked into my coat, or taped beneath tables at family gatherings. They had no clue their words were being captured. The first recording that chilled me was Lauren on the phone with their mother. I'd arrived early for dinner and was in the living room when I overheard her from the kitchen. "She's starting to suspect something," Lauren said. "She asked me outright if I moved her phone." "What did you say?" her mother asked. I played concerned, told her she should see a doctor, that memory issues might be hereditary. They chuckled. Another Sunday, I arrived early and hid in the storage closet near the dining room as they prepared for dinner. Through the door, I heard Ethan's mother's voice, clear as day. "The evaluation is set for Thursday," she said. "Dr. Kessler from the golf club owes me a favor. He's reviewed the reports we've put together." "What reports?" Ethan's father asked. "The ones we discussed, her memory lapses, her paranoia, her aggressive episodes. Ethan's been keeping a record as we instructed." My heart sank. Ethan was documenting fabricated symptoms. "Once she's admitted," Lauren added, "we can start the process. Dad's attorney says with a mental health commitment and Ethan as her proxy, claiming her inheritance will be simple." My inheritance, $350,000 from my grandmother's estate, meant for our future children's education. "The house will need to go too," his mother continued. "Psychiatric care is costly, and Ethan shouldn't be saddled with a mortgage for someone who can't manage her life." The house, also left to me by my grandmother, where Ethan and I lived. "You're sure this will hold up?" his father asked. "Dr. Kessler specializes in these cases," his mother replied. "He says women often crack under marital stress. With our statements and Ethan's notes, it's airtight." "What if she resists?" Lauren asked. "With what credibility?" his mother scoffed. "We've spent months proving she's unhinged. Who will believe her over a respected doctor and 3 pillars of the community?" I heard footsteps and retreated deeper into the closet. The recorder caught every word. "The best part," his mother said, "is that she's starting to question herself. Ethan says she asked him yesterday if she was losing it." They laughed. "Remember how she broke down when she couldn't find her wallet?" Lauren added. "I'd slipped it into the couch cushions while she was in the bathroom. She looked so pitiful, doubting her own mind." "The medication swap was brilliant," Ethan's father said. "Switching her vitamins with those sedatives made her foggy and disoriented for weeks. She still doesn't know why she felt so awful." My hands trembled. They'd been drugging me. Dr. Kessler says her medical visits from last month will bolster the mental decline story, his mother continued, especially since she saw multiple doctors trying to figure out what was wrong. I recalled those visits, blood work, scans, all normal, yet I'd felt like I was unraveling. Once she's in the facility, Lauren said, how long before we get the money? Dr. Kessler estimates 6 months, his father replied. Enough time to establish a severe diagnosis, but not so long the inheritance gets stuck in court. And if she dies there? Lauren asked casually. The silence was suffocating. These things happen, his mother said finally. Psychiatric wards can be dangerous. Patients hurt themselves or clash with others, especially those who refuse their meds, his father added. Or those who insist they're not ill, Lauren finished. They were planning my death. The genius is that Ethan inherits everything as her spouse, his mother continued. Then we can grow the business without relying on investors. What about her family? His father asked. Won't they ask questions? What family? Lauren laughed. Her parents died in a crash 6 years ago. No siblings. The only relative was her grandmother, and she's gone. That's why we chose her, his mother said coldly. Ethan spent months scanning obituaries for recent inheritances. She was ideal, young, alone, grieving, and wealthy. My stomach churned. They'd targeted me deliberately. How many others have we done this to? Lauren asked. Clara was the first, his father replied. Our test case, we learned from her mistakes. Clara, a name I'd never heard. She fought too hard, his mother said. Kept swearing she wasn't crazy even after commitment. It complicated things. At least she died quickly, Lauren added. The sedative overdose looked natural enough. This time will be smoother, his father said. We've refined the process, medications, records, timelines. Dr. Kessler has it down to a formula. Who else is involved? His mother asked. Just Dr. Kessler and his assistant, his father replied. They take 30% of each inheritance. It's a lucrative deal for all. Except the victims, Lauren said, and they laughed again. I stayed hidden until Ethan arrived and dinner began. For 2 hours, I played along, smiling through their fake concern while the recorder captured their act. How are you holding up, dear? His mother asked, her voice dripping with false worry. You look exhausted. Work's been tough, I said. Maybe you should take a break, his father suggested. Mental health is so important. A long rest could do wonders, Lauren added. The coded language was clear now. Break meant commitment, rest meant permanent confinement. That night, I told Ethan I was unwell and went to bed early. Instead, I backed up the recordings on my computer and made multiple copies. I researched Dr. Kessler and found he'd been disciplined twice for falsifying mental health reports in estate disputes. I also uncovered a chilling detail. 4 years ago, Clara Thompson, listed as Ethan's aunt, died in Crestview Psychiatric Center after being committed for delusional behavior following her parents' estate inheritance. The same facility they planned to send me to, the same Dr. Kessler who signed her papers. I called in sick to work on Monday and met with Sarah Klein, a top family lawyer known for winning tough cases. This is a criminal conspiracy, she said after hearing the recordings. Fraud, attempted theft, conspiracy to commit murder. They're facing serious prison time. I told her about Clara. We'll need to exhume her body, she said. If they killed her, there could be evidence. Tuesday morning, Sarah filed emergency restraining orders against Ethan's family and sent the recordings to the district attorney. She also alerted the medical board about Dr. Kessler and the FBI about a potential murder pattern. By Tuesday afternoon, the story broke. The DA announced Dr. Kessler's arrest and an investigation into what they called an inheritance murder plot. Wednesday, Ethan called frantic. What did you do? The police arrested Dr. Kessler and reporters are at my parents' house. I recorded your family planning to drug me, commit me, steal my money, and kill me, I said calmly. So I gave the evidence to the authorities. You're crazy, he shouted. None of that's true. The FBI thinks it's true enough to dig up your Aunt Clara's body, I replied. He hung up. That evening, his mother called. You've ruined our family with your delusions, she hissed. I've exposed your family as criminals, I said. No one will believe you, she snapped. Everyone knows you're unstable. They'll believe the recordings of you planning my murder, I said. Those are illegal, she countered. My lawyer confirmed they're admissible since you were plotting crimes against me, I replied. She hung up. By Wednesday night, I was packing. Ethan came home, confused. Where are you going? Somewhere safe from my husband who's been documenting fake symptoms to have me locked up. His face paled. I played a clip of his mother discussing his role in the scheme. I can explain, he stammered. Explain drugging me, planning my death, stealing my inheritance. I played another clip, Lauren asking about my death in the facility, his mother's chilling response. They said it was for your own good, he said, crying. They said the money would burden you. What burden? I snapped. I'm a functioning adult. You fabricated an illness to rob and kill me. The next day, Ethan and his family walked into a trap at Dr. Kessler's office. FBI agents arrested them. Searches of their homes uncovered psychiatric drugs matching what I'd been given during my sick weeks, along with notes on my reactions. They found Clara's records and evidence of 2 other suspicious deaths, relatives who'd inherited money. Ethan's computer had a folder, Operation Secure, with plans for my psychological breakdown, gaslighting scripts, and inheritance law research. The FBI, already investigating Dr. Kessler for fraud, expanded their probe. Clara's exhumed body showed she'd been poisoned with a drug cocktail undetectable at the time. Dr. Kessler's files detailed 10 victims over a decade, 7 dead in suspicious circumstances. The trial revealed Ethan's family had targeted me before we met, using my grandmother's obituary to plan their scheme. Ethan had stalked my social media, tailored his persona to charm me, and faked our entire relationship. The jury convicted them all. Ethan got 25 years for conspiracy, fraud, and assault. His parents received life without parole. Lauren got 30 years. Dr. Kessler got life plus 25. The judge called it a chillingly calculated scheme to destroy a person's mind and life. Our marriage was annulled. I kept my house and inheritance. I started therapy to rebuild my trust in reality. A year later, I wrote a book, Deceived, about my ordeal. It became a bestseller, inspiring others to expose similar schemes. I founded Legacy Guardians, a nonprofit helping victims of inheritance fraud. We've exposed 14 more schemes, saving countless lives. 5 years after the arrests, Ethan wrote from prison, claiming he loved me, that his feelings weren't all fake. I discarded the letter. Some betrayals are unforgivable. Last month, I married Nathan, a widower whose wife was killed in a similar scheme. We bonded over our shared pain and built something honest. At our small wedding, every guest was vetted, every vow sincere. We're honeymooning at my grandmother's cabin, a place Ethan's family never knew about. The recorder sits in my keepsake box, a reminder to always trust my instincts and document the truth, especially when everyone else calls it a lie.